Donald Trump sat in the Oval Office, the leather chair creaking as he leaned back, eyes locked on the TV above the fireplace. The news ticker hadn't shifted in 30 minutes. Federal judge blocks deportation order, Trump administration in contempt. He didn't blink. Caroline Driscoll, his press secretary, stood near the doorway, iPad clutched like a riot shield. She knew not to interrupt his silence. James Boasberg, Trump finally said, his voice flat. He thinks he's running the country now. Caroline stepped forward. Judge Boasberg's ruling cites the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Trump snapped. I know what it cites. He found the oldest statute he could, wrapped it in outrage, and called it justice. A binder of immigration policies, border maps, and court transcripts lay on the coffee table, marked in red ink. Trump stood. They're daring me to act out, to cross a line so they can scream dictator for weeks. Pam Bondi entered from the West Wing, dressed in navy, holding a notepad. It's not just El Paso, she said. Boston's ruling has slowed flights from Phoenix, Tucson, and Brownsville. ICE is scrambling Trump's jaw set. We're enforcing the law, and they call it a crisis. Pam flipped her notes. They're prepping contempt proceedings. Acting in bad faith, Boasberg said, on record. Trump turned to the bulletproof window, staring past the South Lawn reporters. Contempt, he muttered, almost amused. They said that when I tweeted. Now it's when I secure the border. Caroline spoke. Media's circling. If we're quiet, they'll write the story. Trump replied, good. Let them. We'll give them something to write about. Pam raised an eyebrow. Meaning? Trump stepped forward. I'm not letting cloaked activists override the people who put me here. If Roberts wants to protect that system, let him defend it publicly. Caroline's breath caught. You want to address the court? Trump pulled Boasberg's order from a drawer, holding it up. Let's see if they believe in transparency when the cameras are on. Pam exhaled. You're calling them out live, starting with John Roberts. Trump nodded. If he thinks this is about process, he's not paying attention. Caroline tapped her screen. You'll be accused of politicizing the bench. Trump's gaze hardened. I'm not politicizing it. I'm exposing it. The people voted for a president, not judges. I won't watch this turn into a courtroom monarchy. Pam nodded. Then we prepare for a storm. Trump smiled faintly. Let it come. The statement hit Washington like a brick wrapped in silk, a PDF on the Supreme Court site at 9:03 a.m. By 9:07, headlines blazed. Chief Justice Roberts' response to Trump's impeachment call. Pam handed it to Caroline in the West Wing. This isn't a defense, it's a warning. Roberts wrote, impeachment is not appropriate for legal disagreements. The judiciary must remain independent, even when rulings are unpopular. Trump was in the Roosevelt Room with Senator Felix Morton and DHS Deputy Carl Higdon. He's posturing, Morton said, flipping a pen, calling court sacred ground. Trump set down his coffee. Sacred? They've made it a battlefield. Carl leaned in. Boasberg's order wasn't review. It was sabotage. Trump nodded. And Roberts hides behind tradition, like robes make them untouchable. Pam placed Roberts' statement before him. Trump didn't read it. He knew the tone. What's the angle? Morton asked. Caroline replied, media sees unity, leadership. The base sees deflection, judges with veto power. Trump said, they don't want elections. They want to block winners. He walked to the fireplace. We gave them years to fix this. Panels, speeches. Now I act, and it's tyranny. Pam crossed her arms. Your play, Mr. President? Trump turned, eyes sharp. They want rulings? We'll give them cameras. Morton blinked. You're serious? Trump said, a live session. Roberts across from me, people watching, no footnotes, just faces. Carl hesitated. They'll agree? Trump replied, they won't have a choice. It's a summit on judicial restraint. Transparency's their claim. Let's test it. Caroline typed fast. Media will flood it. Roberts looks weak if he refuses. Morton chuckled. This breaks every precedent. Trump held Boasberg's order. So did he, overruling DHS with one signature. Pam exhaled. We need a name. Trump paused. National Judicial Reform Summit. Caroline asked, at the Supreme Court? No, Trump said, inside it. The invitation hit inboxes after midnight. No leaks, just a formal email from the president's office. You are invited to the National Judicial Reform Summit, live in the Supreme Court chamber, to discuss judicial authority and constitutional balance. By 8 a.m., news erupted. CNN called it audacious, Fox demanded accountability, MSNBC dubbed it a stunt. Roberts read it silently, then met Justices Yang, Salazar, and Jackson in a private room. He laid the letter down. He wants a televised confrontation, Yang said. Salazar muttered, he's daring us to say no. Jackson asked, ignore it? Roberts replied, we attend. Refusal hands him the narrative, we're hiding. Yang frowned. It's a trap. Roberts said, we go in clear-eyed. He wants spectacle. We give civility. Trump, in a flag-lined room, told his team, we're staging a reckoning. Cameras would roll, lecterns set, one under the court seal, one beneath the eagle crest. Caroline typed credentials. Over 200 media requests, international too. Pam reviewed security. Marshals, Capitol Police, Secret Service. This is a spectacle. Morton entered with Roberts' response. He's in, with 3 justices, off script. Trump smiled. Perfect. Caroline asked. The goal? Trump leaned on the table. Break the illusion. They think formality makes them untouchable. People need to see them as humans who can err. Pam hesitated. If they flip it, call you a tyrant? Trump said, let them. I answer to voters. They don't. Preparations raced. Lighting was installed in the chamber. Sound checked. Secret Service swept. Reporters camped outside. Protesters chanted, some for judicial independence, others for the people. At 10 p.m., Trump stood in the East Room, alone with unpolished notes. Felix entered. We good? Trump closed the folder. Better than good. Tomorrow they hear what they weren't supposed to. The Supreme Court chamber had never hosted such a scene. A president facing the Chief Justice, live with the nation watching. At 11 a.m., Trump entered, leather folder in hand, no teleprompter. He walked to his podium, unshaken. Roberts sat opposite, with Yang, Salazar, and Jackson, calm and measured. Cameras buzzed, feeds lit up with Judicial Summit. Live. Trump began, I didn't expect to speak here, not to enemies overseas, but to robe silence. A judge blocked us from deporting threats, under ancient laws. When we enforce anyway, it's bad faith. He held up Boasberg's order. This isn't law, it's leverage. Roberts stayed still. Trump continued, they say wait, appeal. But how long? How many injunctions until the people's change is gone? This wasn't built for 700 unelected lawyers to rule. He faced Roberts. Chief Justice, with respect for your role, not your doctrine. When people cry for action and courts stay silent, that's not neutrality. It's surrender. Roberts adjusted his glasses, voice crisp. Mr. President, courts don't reflect passion, they temper it. They're not political weapons. Since Marbury versus Madison, we've reviewed action. That's responsibility, not rebellion. The judiciary safeguard the Constitution. Trump crossed his arms. Then why does it feel one-sided? Silence hit hard. He pulled out the Declaration. This dismantled kings. If judges rule without consequence, we've lost the republic. He dropped Boasberg's order. They call it review. I call it rule. Roberts flinched slightly. Trump faced the camera. You're told courts protect you. When a judge cancels your vote, that's power theft. Elon Musk tweeted, a courtroom became a battlefield, hitting 2 million views. Trump turned the Declaration. Jefferson warned of men in power stealing voices under virtue. An oligarchy in robes is still an oligarchy. Pam Bondi sat still, recognizing history. Robert's jaw tensed. Trump lifted the order. A judge stopped us in McAllen. Cartel smugglers ready. Hours later, agents stood down, not by law, but one man's PDF. They don't want a bench. They want a throne. His voice focused. I was elected. You may hate me. That's democracy. If judges erase policies without debate, this isn't the people's. He dropped a handwritten quote. Power without accountability is theft. This is a quiet theft of your voice. Protesters roared outside. Trump ended, if Roberts won't fix it, we will. Legally, constitutionally, completely. America woke certain. Networks looped Trump with the Declaration, Roberts' reaction, the paper falling. Radio in Bakersfield, Mobile, Amarillo debated power, not parties. Pam entered the Oval at 8:02 a.m. It's louder than we thought. Trump sipped coffee. Good. Caroline followed. 20 Congress members, senators too, want injunction reform. Trump said, name it, simple. Pam replied, Judicial Accountability Act. Perfect, Trump said. Make courts answer. Morton introduced it at noon. Tighter injunction rules, timelines, public records. Musk's court light tracked rulings live. Dots glowed, names exposed, 5 million downloads. Judicial trust fell below 35%. Roberts stayed silent, working as if unchanged. That evening, Caroline watched News Nation with Trump. Constitutional course correction, the commentator said. Trump eyed the Declaration on the wall. It won't last unless we're louder than their silence. Pam warned, left's calling it intimidation. Trump shrugged. Let them scream. Silence protected them too long. People reflected. Ohio workers, Arizona ranchers, a Wichita Falls teacher dissecting the speech. It wasn't party. It was fear of a voice stolen by robes. Court lights soared. The act gained bipartisan nods. Trump wrote names, not enemies, but reminders of unchecked power. The storm passed, but questions lingered. Who's in charge? In Flagstaff, Marlene Cross, 62, felt seen after years of apathy. In Jackson, Corey Bell nodded in a barbershop. In Yuma, a student said, rules can't protect you if they shield themselves. Trump didn't just question courts. He reminded America, democracy lives in voices, not robes. The shift began, raw and free.